if you keep finding yourself being stuck in any situation in your life, whether that's health, finances, or relationships, this video is for you. I discovered this methodology that really changed everything for me, and I want to share that with you. And this is a very unusual video for me, unusual setting. So I'm experimenting and see how it resonates with you. So basically, if you want to reach any goal, whether that's find the love of your life, build your business, or get your health back in check, get your fitness level up, one thing to ask yourself before making the plan to execute the goal, because everybody talks about make the goal, make the plan, stick to it, but nobody talks about the fact that most people know what they should do, but they just can't seem to get there. They just keep sabotaging themselves, or something keeps getting in the way, and they just remain stuck. And normally, like at least my perspective on that is because there's two parts pushing against each other, or multiple parts. And that's the perspective shift that I want to share with you today. We're not just one single unit of human. We have so many different parts of us, ourselves, like different personalities. It's totally normal. There's a part of me that wants to exercise, a part of me that doesn't want to exercise. So getting back to the goals, if you want, let's say, a romantic partner, and when you write that down or when you say it out loud, tune into yourself and see, is there any other part? And if you can ask, like, are there any parts inside, or, thoughts or feelings, and you can ask it however it resonates with you, that are opposing this, that are afraid of this. And a lot of times what we find is fear. Fear of the relationship because of what it would mean for you. Because in the past you got burned, so then that protection layer came in, that I will never let you get hurt like this, or disappointment in men, in women, that you can't really meet them. You can't really meet the love of your life because such a thing doesn't exist. So one part really is still believing in meeting your partner, building your business, and another part is either protecting you, or is disappointed, or any other belief that it's holding. So before embarking on the journey of building your business or finding the love of your life, is to look at that polarization and to spend time with both of those parts, especially the part that's opposing, and see what are the layers. There's always many layers to it. It can be very superficial of, I don't know, it's uncomfortable to live with someone. I'm already so comfortable living by myself. How can I now live with somebody else? And it can be very superficial, but don't stay there. Keep getting deeper. Keep asking questions. What's behind it? What's even behind that? What's even more scary than that? What's even worse than that? And it usually, when you peel those layers, it gets to something related to death, because like those younger parts of ourselves when we were growing up, when we were little kids, being rejected, being shamed, being humiliated, being alone, meant that you could not survive, because we need other humans to take care of us. We need to be loved. So we developed all kinds of strategies to be loved by our parents, to be accepted, to please others, or somehow else fit into the picture to just get our needs met. And without realizing that, we keep living with those programs. Even now, there's like, we don't need other people's acceptance to survive. Like, we're good. But yeah, getting deep to the deepest core, and from a very compassionate, non-judgmental, just curious perspective, be with that part and explore. When was it that part formed this belief? How it got formed? And maybe give a little update that you're not 5-year-old anymore, that you're much older. And then give time to the other part, the part that wants relationship, the part that wants to expand business, and see, okay, what's the relationship between them? Like, usually they're really angry at each other, or one part is oblivious that another part exists. So really, like, kind of, you can visualize this, you can do it on paper, journaling, you can do it painting, you can give some time to paint for this one part, express what's inside of it, and then give some space for this other part. And see, how can you unify them? How can you find a dialogue? Maybe that's also actually involving dancing. You can set some time to see how that part moves, kind of like embody that part that's afraid of the relationship, that's afraid of stepping into your fullness, of being seen in your business, and earning more money. What that would mean like if you were to earn more money. And for me, it was very scary because in my subconscious, one part of my system believed that rich people are bad, and that if you want to have strong values and morality, you cannot be rich, you cannot earn a lot, and that rich people are sick, and all these other beliefs that came actually from my ancestors even. So they were not even mine. And getting deeper in this process of unraveling, I could release those. And it was no longer holding me back, because for so many years I wanted to expand my programs and my business, and it wasn't working because I actually didn't want that. My core, also another part of mine thought that if I was to get more clients, then I would be not free anymore. And why I wanted to build my business in the first place, to have that freedom. So really, I needed to, and I still do, like there's parts coming up all the time that is that push and pull game inside. So whenever I want to embark on a new journey of creating something or any other goal, it's really helpful to see inside the parts and get them talking. You can even do a journaling exercise where you write down, maybe in 2 different pencils. From one part, you kind of embody that part that's afraid, and you write down, what is it afraid of? And you can ask that part questions. Tell me more, and validate that part and see where that belief came from. And ask if that part would like to unburden that belief. But sometimes, usually, when we give enough space and attention from this loving space, that part transforms itself. And then give space for the other part, and just kind of get them to dialogue, to see what's happening. And it might sound very crazy until you try it. But once you try it, you see that it's actually not that crazy, and it's quite easy to tune into those parts. Well, for some people it's harder, but for most people I find it's pretty easy to start talking to the part. And it might be that all the other parts start popping up as well, wanting your attention, because if we never really tuned inside, and we finally do, there are a lot of parts that are just screaming for our attention. So also be aware of that when you're doing this process. But if you stick to it and you kind of just adopt this as a new model of life, whenever some feelings arise, desires, all of that can be viewed as different parts, and you can very easily then see what's behind it, and you can like turn on curiosity, because it's kind of easier, even because it's not you. Like if a part of you got really angry at your partner in a relationship, it's easier to explore that anger and even share with your partner, because it's a part of me that feels that way. And that's why I find it so revolutionary, this practice for relationships, when both partners in an argument can communicate from this understanding that, there's a part of me that's really hurt, and that part really wants to shut down and just never see you again. And it's like, it would be much harder to communicate that if I was blended with that part, because If I'm blended with that part that wants to shut down and never see my partner again, I'd probably just shut down and I would close off. So that's why unblending and seeing that part outside of me is revolutionary, because then you're not blended and you can move through life much easily by observing those parts and what's impacting you. So I hope this was useful and you will practice this and you can move forward to your goals and not have to be stuck in this mode anymore. And if you liked it and you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.